What's going on, guys? This is Alfie on behalf of Asian Persuasion 2008, coming to you with a deck profile. I got first place at the St. Peter's Regional. It had between 100 and 150 players. It's a pretty small regional, but I got first place and I was playing Tenpai Dragon, so let's get into it. So we played 3 Chandra, obviously, 3 Pydra, 2 Fadra. I see some people playing 1, but I think the second one's necessary. And then for the 1 of Dragons, we played 1 Genroku, 1 Magnum, and 1 Dora. Yes, I see some people playing 2 of this, but I don't think that's correct, so you really don't want to draw it. And then for the hand traps, we play 3 Ash, 3 Molcharmi. This card's really good in theory. At the regional, it wasn't great. Every time I activated it, they were playing Runic Stun, but I'm not taking it out. It's really good. 3 Droll and Lockbird. This card was MVP. Really glad I played this over Shifter. I decided not to play Shifter because I was running into a lot of situations where I would Shifter them and then I would try to push for game and they'd have like an Ash or something and I just wouldn't have lethal, so I ended up taking it out because you need your graveyard access. And then for the spells, I played 3 Summoning and the Terraforming, 3 Kaiman, 3 Pot for consistency, and then for the breakers, I played 3 Regeki, 2 Dark Hole, 2 Lightning Storm, Change of Heart. This card was very good. It takes all sorts of problem monsters, Appaloosa, it forces negates. I took an Inspector border and linked it off for an SP, which was really good. Feather Duster. Shout out to my round 1 Runic Stun opponent. This was the last card in my deck, and I ended up OTKing him with 0 cards in deck because of that. And then for my last card in the deck, I played Sengen Kaiho. I don't see any Tenpai decks playing this card, but I really think this card is good if you expect mirror matches. Basically what it does is if your opponent controls more monsters than you do and all monsters you control are fire dragons, it ends the main phase. So in the mirror match, this actually is really good to set up because you can set up a Hieratic Seal with a fire dragon, and then as soon as they summon Pydra or Chandra, or Pydra and Chandra under summoning, you can chain your seal and then chain this as Chain Link 2, and it becomes the battle phase. So the monsters on their field are no longer unaffected because it's not the main phase. So your seal can actually bounce the Chandra back to their hand, and it is now the battle phase. And then you can quick sync into your Transcendent Dragon, and they end up usually killing themselves that way. So this card was very strong. I was expecting a lot of mirror matches at the tournament, and I played about 4, and this card was really good. So let's move on to the extra deck. We played 2 Bident for obvious reasons. Meteor Burst Dragon didn't make it. Black Rose Dragon didn't make it. Samurai Destroyer didn't make it. Quibelt, I made it once, but it was inconsequential. And then for the level 10s, we play Transcendent Dragon. This is the best card in the deck. Trident Dragon to end the game when you don't have game with this card. Ready Rose Dragon didn't make it, but it's in there for a very specific reason, which I'll go over later. And then you play 1 Hieratic Seal. I've considered playing 2, I just haven't been able to find the room for it. SP Little Knight, and then you play the Fire Package, Hida, Promethean Princess, and Doolittle Chimera. This is in here for D-Barrier mostly. If they shotgun a D-Barrier in the main phase, you actually have lethal with this card plus Kaiman, assuming they don't have an Ash or something like that, because this boosts all your dragons by 500. So if you can get this guy on board with the 3 dragon bodies without synchro summoning, that's actually like 82 or 8300 or something like that. And then the final card match deck is Typhon. This is just for situations where I draw bad going second and I can clear their board with like Regeki or something and then normal summon a hand trap or a brick and make this so I actually have a play. I made it once, it wasn't very good, but I probably would keep it in. And then for the side deck, I played 3 Spooky Dogwood. This card just applies a lot of pressure to people. They think that they're going to kill you, and then you activate this card, and they realize they can't. And it usually buys you another turn, which is kind of all this deck needs, because we really just need 1 turn to win. And then I played 2 Nibiru. This is kind of the flex spot in the side deck. I drew it once, and I resolved it, but I still lost that game, so I'm really not sure how much I like Nibiru. TBD. Quacky Mirror Draco, this card's necessary in the side deck. I actually won a game against a Snake Eye player because I drew this in Power Filter and I just normal summoned, activate Power Filter, and it shut off his whole deck. But yeah, you need that card. Then I decided 2 Dora. So in this deck, it really struggles with going first. So there's some situations where I'm actually choosing to go first. specifically against Fiendsmith Snake Eye, because they're setting up Angel of Blue Tears in the grave, which is going to set the D barrier, and it's almost impossible to play through their board plus D barrier. So in that matchup, I'll choose to go first, and I'll side these in for consistency, and this card's very good as a turn 1 play. And then for the go first cards, you play a Rivalry, 3 Power Filter. This card's very strong. And then this is my favorite card in the side deck, and I don't see anyone else playing it, but Gravity Collapse. This card's really cool. I didn't resolve it at the tournament. The one time I was going to be able to resolve it, my Synchro got popped by a Ghost Ogre, but essentially what this card does is whenever your opponent summons a monster, you contribute a Synchro and then negate the summon, and then your opponent can't summon for the rest of the turn. So ideally what you do is you end your turn with a Bident Dragon on the field, and then as soon as they summon, they fall right into this card. It's a counter trap, so they usually can't respond, and then their turn basically ends. It's really strong. Sometimes I'll end up siding 15 cards when I decide to go first. But yeah, that's the deck. It was really strong. I don't think I would play this exact build at a YCS level event. The St. Peter's Regional is usually a little more rogue based, so I built my deck to beat the mirror match, but that's the profile.